All right. Good evening. So how you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a great day. So it is Monday. I usually don't do any lives on Monday, but today is a special edition that I would say. I have a special guest here from Vegas. Some of you guys may know him, some of you guys may not, but his wheels has been absolutely amazing. So we are going to check out. For those of you who don't know, my name is Ismail. I am the owner of Notary Services. I operate in Massachusetts. I've been in the notary game since 2017. I've learned a lot, have experienced a lot, success and failure. And so tonight, I just wanted to bring in someone to showcase this business and show my appreciation. So without any further ado, I'd like to present to you guys Mr. Sanford. So I'm going to add you on IG right now. So are you able to hear me on YouTube? All right, hold on, guys. Hey, are you able to hear me? Hold on.
Okay.
All right, so just check your Instagram because I just sent you the link to join on Instagram as well. All right. Hey, Sanford, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, perfect. Check your Instagram, check your phone. You should be able to join on Instagram as well.
Oh, I'm already on Instagram, but is there a special link or something that I need to get in on it?
Yeah, if you're watching the live on Instagram, there will be an invite. So just click on the bottom of your comment and you will see a camera with a plus on it. There should be a camera with a plus on it. And then that's where you'll join me on Instagram. What's going on, folks? Hope you guys are doing well tonight. We are bringing you guys another special episode. All right. Just lower your volume on your phone, Sanford.
Okay.
All right, perfect. All right, guys. So we are live on both IG and YouTube. The people can't see you on Instagram. I don't know. You might want to check your phone, Sanford. All right, looks like we're almost there. If you guys are able to hear us on Instagram, drop a 1 in the comments so we know that you guys are good there. All right, so looks like you are on Instagram. I'm only seeing your bag. Here you go.
Okay. All right,
perfect. Okay, so it looks like everybody's able to hear us on Instagram. I appreciate you all for joining tonight. Again, I just want to do a quick introduction. My name is Ishmael. I am the owner of Notary Services here in Massachusetts. I've been a notary for the past 5 years. It's been one heck of a journey. Lots of success, lots of failures, but this is what it's all about. You have to make sure you are getting through these adversities. So tonight, I have a guest here all the way from Vegas. This guy is amazing. Like, I remember when I first came across his page, just the reels was what got me. Like, he has a famous reel that he's going to talk to you guys about on how that happened. That's what drew my attention to him, and I've been following him since. So if I need further ado, I would like for you to introduce yourself, Mr. Sanford, and tell us about who you are and what's going on with you.
Thank you, Matherin, for inviting me to your show and to be here with all the fellow notaries. My name is Sanford Jones. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I've been there for most of my life. I've traveled around the United States and been to different places, but decided that 2 years ago that we need to leave expensive California and come to Las Vegas. And I've been a notary for almost 2 years, and haven't looked back. So I'm really excited that I'm able to come out to Vegas. There's a lot of adventure out here, a lot of good stuff. Too much.
So from LA to Las Vegas. So like when we were talking, you mentioned that you grew up in LA.
Yes.
All right. So how is that like? Because clearly you are a few years older than I am. I'm just trying to get an experience as far as in the background. Like, how was it like growing up in LA?
Right.
Especially maybe doing like the '90s, the '80s.
Mhm.
Like, so
Right.
how was your upbringing?
Well, I was raised in West LA. For those of you who are familiar, I'm West LA. So, like, I was near the Hollywood sign, like literally like about 2 miles, 3 miles from the Hollywood sign. And I'm a product of the '70s and the '80s. I ended up moving to a city called Carson, which is about like 30 minutes south of downtown LA. I come from a family of like my mother. She was a notary, by the way. My mother was a notary
Oh,
public
really?
back in the 1980s. Yes.
Wow.
And so I'm from a notary family. And she had a lot of customers come up and for all this paperwork. I'm like saying, what is she doing? But she was a respectable person, my mother, in the profession, the earliest notaries that you could ever imagine. But she didn't do the kind of stuff that I do today.
Uh-huh.
And notaries today are doing, I think, way more than what our parents or grandparents did, some 40, 50 years ago.
Yep.
LA during the '80s and the '90s was rough. You had a lot of, different gangs and just the whole culture and essence of LA was different. You have to deal with traffic, a lot of traffic. But the blessings of LA is that you have all this culture living together.
Yep.
And when you have all these different cultures living together, that's when things good can happen. And I told my wife when we moved to Las Vegas, and I want to say a little shout out for my wife, Cherry May, my son Derek, and my he is 9 years old, and my daughter Arabella, she is
Yep.
5 years old. Actually, Derek is turning 9 like next week.
That's
But
amazing.
I just wanted to, I just told them, I said, we're going to miss the beach. We're going to miss the food. LA is about food, culture, okay? And, and the different lifestyle, go to concerts everywhere. That's what LA is about. And so we used to go, I used to go with my friends and go to Vegas. People in LA go to Vegas
Yeah.
to hang out, to go to shows, and to enjoy the lifestyle. But guess what? All those people in LA came to Vegas. A lot of Californians came to Vegas. And so I don't feel like I miss California because a lot of Californians are here. It's a cheaper lifestyle here than California. Okay. And When I first came here to Las Vegas from California, I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I here as a notary? Because I became a notary out here. Why did I
Okay.
do this? I think there's a lot of competition, but ask me later and I'll tell you why it's not a competition.
Nice. That's amazing. Wow. Just a background in LA, then you make the switch. Then you make the switch to Las Vegas.
Yes,
And though you touched base with saying that your mother was a notary, so you've always been exposed to as far as the business. But what you are doing now is completely different than, maybe how your mother ran her notary business. So when you got to Las Vegas, now you're in this new city. And out of
right.
all the things that you could have got into, you choose to become a notary in Las Vegas. Why did you choose to become a notary in Las Vegas versus everything else that was going on around you, especially in
What?
Vegas?
Okay, well, let me just tell you real quick. I'm a retired school teacher of 18 years in
Wow,
California. So
amazing.
I decided that I'm it was enough teaching in the schools. I taught elementary, middle school, and I taught high school for 11 years.
Wow,
So,
high school
yeah.
in LA.
So I'm used to talking to people all the time, you know. And Las Vegas, we had to pray for the grace of God. This is something that we're going to do. And it was a shock. The shock is the heat, dealing with the heat. I'm used to when I'm in LA, you got a beach, you got that beach air that flows into California and you get that nice marine layer. There's no such thing as marine layer out here in Vegas. It's
Gotcha.
dry heat out here. So I said, well, you know what? I became inspired to become a notary because I was looking at YouTube.
Mm,
I was looking at people like you because you inspired me, and a lot of other people inspired me to want to become a notary just because they were talking about notary and real estate. And I'm like saying, what's that all about?
yeah,
But I just wanted to see how this is going to play out. But I was able to I have a delivery business. So I'm able to integrate my delivery business with being a notary. You got to have different streams of income out here. You can't just live
absolutely.
on one stream of income. And so now the notary is starting to slowly but surely move in. When I got here, I was excited. I got me a nice office. Oh man, and the office was cheap. The offices are cheap here in Vegas.
Really? Don't
I
hey,
got
don't give me any
yes,
ideas.
I got me an office here, and my rent was only $320.
Yeah, you can't do that here in Massachusetts. You're not getting rent for
Wow.
300 for office space in Massachusetts.
Yeah. So I'm like, I got me, and so it was good. But the thing is that I'm like, how do I make business? How do I bring people to me, or how can I go to them? And I just got smart. I had some ways of how I did that. I went to Yelp, I went to Google,
Nice.
and I was able to get those two working for me. And guess what? They were, as soon as I got commissioned, I was commissioned in 2019. December of 2019, I was commissioned by the state of Nevada.
Wow.
Nevada is very, very easy. It was so easy that in 3 weeks I got commissioned after I took my exam, and then I was able to move into the next steps, take the exam, and do the background check for the notary signing agent.
Gotcha.
I did that, and as soon as I was done, I'm like, well, when are they going to all come by? And when's this going to happen?
Yeah.
It's not like magic. It'll come to you, but you have to be ready for it. They started to come to my office. People came to my office with documents for real estate. Hey, can you notarize this for me? Can you notarize that? What? What? They were coming to me, or I had to go out to them. Hey, I've
Yeah.
got property in New York City. Can you notarize a property for me in New York? I said, okay, let's do this.
That is
The, and the trick to this is you got to know how to notarize. Just be a notary, and everything will flow very well for you.
absolutely. Absolutely. You are, what you just said right there is one of the keys to anybody that's looking to get into the notary industry, right? Because every now and then I get somebody who reach out to me asking question about loan signing. How do I become a loan signing agent? How do I do this? But you have to become a notary first. You must understand the basic principles of what it is as a notary. What can you do and what you cannot do in your state? A lot of people do not want to take the time out to understand the state laws. Everybody wants to get into the loan signing agent aspect of it. If that's your niche, by all means, do that. But in order for you to do that effectively, you have to know what a notary is. You have to take the time. You have to take the time to really understand your role as a notary public. And a lot of people are not doing that right now because they are so focusing on making the money. And making money is good, y'all. But if you don't know what you're doing and try to make money at the same time, that's a recipe for disaster.
It is. You'll lose business. You're going to lose business
You're
because
absolutely
people
right.
won't trust you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing that you want to be able to show in this business that you are trustworthy and you're reliable. So you mentioned that you had to take a test, right? Like, what's the process to become a notary in Vegas?
You go to the Secretary of State's website and you register with the Secretary of State, and then you can take the exam. The exam is online. It's not like California. I think California, you got to go to a testing center or something.
Really?
But in Nevada, it's online, and you can take it as many times as you want if you can't pass it.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah. And believe me, I mean, I didn't get it a few times, but after I corrected everything and I wrote down some notes, I passed the test. You get bonded. You can, you go online and you look for a bond company.
Hmm.
You get your E&O. You need your E&O in order for you to do real estate work as a notary. You need that E&O insurance.
Okay, got you. Wow.
And then once you have that, it's your credentials. Your credentials are your commission. You're going to get a certificate with the Secretary of State. I don't know. Do they do that out in Massachusetts? Is the Secretary of State over there?
Yeah, as far as my process here, it's a little different than yours, but we still have to go to the Secretary of State. There is no test as of right now. When I did it, it was my wife's idea. She the one who came up with this whole notary business idea, and it was amazing. And so I did the application, submit my fees. Then once everything got approved, get my references. Then I went to the Secretary of State, get sworn in and become commission. The only difference is we only required an E&O up here versus where you're at in Vegas. You have to get bond and E&O, and you have to
Right.
take a test.
Right.
So every state is different. That's why I try to
Right.
tell people. You can ask me how to become a notary. I can only give you the basic steps, but you
Exactly.
have to be willing to do the research. What is required in your state? Now, if
Mhm.
I reach out to you, be like, "Hey, man, I'm moving to Vegas. How do I become a notary? I've been a notary in Massachusetts." If I had the
Mhm.
same mindset, okay, there's no test. Then I get to Vegas. They say I have to take a test. I'm looking at them
Yeah.
like I had no idea about this. So every
You-
state is different.
Yes. That's not that's not the only test you have to take. you also have to take a notary signing agent exam
Oh, really?
on the NNA website.
Yep.
Okay, you have to take that test, and then when you pass that, then you're going to be pretty much, you're going to be well known, and then you have to start to make yourself you have to start working with signing services so that they can know who you are and trust you with their clients.
Absolutely.
So it's a big process. And another thing is your background check. You got to pass the NNA background check in order for you to become a real estate signing agent.
Yep, that is those are all the key steps people tend to miss because they are not willing to do the research, because they just think, okay, I'm gonna get commission, I'm gonna make $10,000 a month. If you can make $10,000 a month, I'm happy for you. Great. I'm glad you found a way to figure it out. But you cannot stray away from the fact that there are key steps that you have to follow in order for you to become a notary public. And there are also key steps that you must abide by, such as the state laws, in order for you to be effective. It's so like you can be a notary public and you don't have any business coming through. You can be a notary public and have a poor work ethic where you, like, for example, a few months ago, I went to an appointment and I pull out my journal. I had them do a thumbprint. Then I read the oath. The lady looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, what are you doing? Why are you checking my ID? Why am I signing this book? Then I had to educate her. I'm like, the state of Massachusetts requires for me to verify your ID. That requires for me to keep a journal. And her and her husband both said the last few notaries that they had that came through, they checked their ID, didn't have a journal. So here I am.
Oh, man.
So here I am pulling out my journal for them to sign. They're looking at me like, what is this guy doing? I'm like, look, that's the proper way. That's how it should have been done.
Yes, you and I are educated. We come from doing this the right way. It'll come back to bite you if you don't do the process correctly as a notary. That journal protects you in case somebody has a question about the signers.
Yeah.
So that's protection. And the journal's required in Nevada, but we're not required to have fingerprint. Fingerprint is not at all requested in Nevada.
Okay, got you. Yeah, now that's something I wanted to, because one thing I noticed, people take it a lot seriously now. Whenever hey, I need a right thumbprint. That's just another layer of identification in case something happened or I have to get called into court. So you can't just be like, oh, that's not my signature. Like, I don't know who that is. Once they run the thumbprint, everybody has a unique thumbprint. So you can't say, oh, that's not me at this point. So I mean, it looks like we have some comments on Instagram. She Boss Mobile said she used her journal just in case. I heard of court cases. Yes, I've heard of plenty of court cases as well. So this is why it's extremely important. Even if you're in a state that is not required you to keep a journal, I will always advise someone to keep a journal. But if you like one of those notaries where you feel like, well, my state don't require me to keep one, so I'm not going to keep one, but you always want to have that extra layer of protection.
Extra protection. You have to protect yourself. There's a lot of fake people out there who are trying to put a wool over your eyes.
Yes, you are absolutely right about that. Yeah. If I mispronounce your name, I'm sorry. I want to say Francina23 say best practices. It's me, Candace, say no shortcuts. Absolutely, because you cannot have a successful business taking shortcuts. Well, I guess you can in a way, but it's gonna get back to you at some point.
Right. Yeah.
So
you go ahead.
No, go.
Yeah. So don't take shortcuts because it'll hurt you. So we talked about the journal, but a lot of people want me to do that I don't like. It's illegal. They want you to stamp a document. Just stamp it. Stamp any page you give me. And I'm like saying, wait a minute, that has to have a certificate. That page is not allowed. Or they want me to stamp an immigration document. No, I'm not stamping no immigration document unless I need to. Where does it say in the notary wording has to be there? If it's not there, I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
So that's, people want you to take a shortcut. They want to try to get their way, and I'm not going to let them get their way.
No,
So,
you're right. But my thoughts on that, I think it's because we have to understand as, notary public, that the public itself, they're not like educated on what we can and cannot do. That's why,
Right.
once again, it's important for you to know what you can and can't do as a notary.
Right.
So they may be asking you to stamp those documents based on their experience with a different notary who did not understand the state laws and which they've used in the past, and that always put the stamp on a piece of paper without no notarial wording. So when
Correct.
they reach out to you, you tell them, no, I cannot put my stamp on here. However, I can attach a certificate. And they're looking at you like you're crazy.
Yeah,
They're like,
they
well, the last person, that's not what they did. The last person wasn't following the state laws.
Exactly. And there's a lot of notaries that are that way. I just know it because I hear it. That they're doing a lot of stuff. But the bottom line is that they're going to eventually get caught. Somebody's going to catch them, and then they're going to they have to pay a fine, or they could lose their commission. Who wants to lose any of that? I don't want to do that. I want to follow the rules and play the rules, and you'll be fine.
Absolutely. Looks like she boss mobile she says that I always get people that don't want to take their ID out, their wallets. Then Ty Will Sign said you should always use your journal to be able to keep track of notarial acts for self-employment schedule on your tax return. You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. And this is why we stress just do what's required. Like, it's not hard.
Right.
It's if you just understand just the basics, you will be fine. That's part of being as far as a notary business owner, practicing good work ethic, being professional, being reliable. And if people feels like you're a professional and then they can rely on you for your services, guess what? You're going to get those repeated clients that no matter where they at, or if they need something notarized, where even if you cannot come to them the same day, they'll wait for you. Because I have repeat clients where they'll call me. I was like, look, I can't come today. Can we meet tomorrow? Sure, I'll wait for you.
Yeah.
And
I have repeat clients as well. And it's amazing. The repeat clients sometimes is going to be a benefit and they just see you as a very reliable person and that they really had a good experience. And that makes me feel good inside that my clients can trust me and come back to me for more work or whatever service that they want me to do.
Yep, absolutely. So, so just based on what you're talking about, how important you would say that mindset is? Because you was a teacher for about 18 years, then you make the transition. So what role does having the right mindset have had an impact on your decision to become a notary in business and in life?
You have to be prepared for the setting your goals as a notary, but you need a business, I feel, behind that. And I said, well, I love being a notary, but I need to have the whole enchilada. I need my name, my brand to be out there. I need people to know a little bit about me. So when I did Vegas to Notary LLC, I wanted the entire package, and to be able to, with that, I am able to do a lot. The notary here in Vegas and Nevada is very, very busy. I told you earlier that I thought this was a saturated city. In the beginning, I did. It's not true. The secret to all of this is Google. You gotta use Google.
Yep.
Google's going to be your best friend. Google's going to give you 90% of your work is going to come from Google.
Absolutely.
Okay? And so I am all over the city. I'm like, during COVID, I'm wearing a mask. I got a mask on, and I'm going out to the hospitals. I'm going to, I was just in, I did a notary for some truckers. They bought some rigs out of state, and they came into Nevada out of California. So I had to meet them about 30 minutes away from the border, and they had me notarize their truck business. So you have to have that mindset. Sometimes I go in a casino, and you remember that when I was running.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody, hey, you all know on Instagram, you guys know my page. You saw me run, and then I jumped. I'm the fastest notary on the strip.
That
Okay?
was it right there. That was that video that caught my attention. And it's like, I'm not, like I said, all due respect, right? You're an older gentleman. And a lot of people,
Yeah.
like the younger folks, they not doing that. But just to see that type of energy that you are putting out, and that's what makes you different. I'm pretty sure that's what makes you different than any other notaries in your area, because the one I'm trying to find it right here. It was one of yours where you was jumping, and there was visitors. I'm guessing I'm not sure, they were shopping, right? And then they were just the way they were. I'm like, I'm looking at the video. I'm like, what's going on here? And then I'm like, do they know what's going on, or are they supposed to be in the background? So for those of you who don't know, if you go on his page, just look at his wheel and you'll see it. It is absolutely, it says fastest on the strip. And that caught my attention. I'm like, look, he's doing something that is completely different. And that is great. You have to be able to set yourself apart. And I'm glad you say that. At first you thought it was saturated, but as you at first he thought it was saturated, but as he gets more into the business, he's starting to notice that it's really not. You just have to set yourself apart. Hold on. Hey, Sanford, you just got kicked off YouTube. I'm not sure if you just hit on the link. So, guys, when you think that it is saturated in your market, you just have to find a different way for you to market your business. You just have to find a different way for you to put yourself out there, because I don't feel like it's that saturated, but it's all based on your mindset. If you allow yourself to think that it's saturated, you will not want to go out there and actually put in the work. You will not want to go out there to showcase your business. And then what's going to happen is you're going to allow that mindset, fear going to creep in, and then you will not go out there and start a business. Hold on. Yeah. Just I think you're getting back on YouTube. All right, there you go.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So, yeah, you have to have that mindset. You have to don't give up. Do not give up. You need a mentor. You got to get a mentor.
Yeah, just give him a second on YouTube, guys. I guess his battery, he's plugging in his laptop. Because he's actually talking on IG right now. So he's just plugging up his stuff for YouTube. All right. You are frozen on YouTube. But yeah, so it's definitely, I think mindset definitely play a huge role in this. You definitely need to have the right mindset. Because if you don't have the right mindset, you will not last in this business. You'll not last in any business. It's the little things that we tend to overlook. Being able to have a positive mindset, even though you are going through a difficult time, even though things may not be going the way you want it to go. But you have to understand that as you trust the process along the way, your time will come. That's one thing my wife always stressed to me, whenever I get and in a downward, let's say I'm overthinking. She'll just tell me, hey, you know what, stay the course, just remain focused. And it's the same way with the notary business, because you're coming into a market where you have not tested out the market, but you're already saying to yourself, it's saturated, or I'm not going to get any business. That right there is affecting your psyche. That right there, you are coming in. Just think about when you were starting out, right? You had a great feeling. I want to be a notary. I want to get into this business. I want to provide services. And then all of a sudden, right, you start thinking to yourself, well, what if there's no business? What if
Right.
I don't get no calls? What if I messed up? Stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking it and just go ahead and just start and, just get the process going. Looks like you just got kicked off with Instagram, so I'll send you another invite.
Now, can I say a quick shout out to some people real quick?
Oh yeah, hold on. You're getting reconnected on Instagram right now, so if you want to give your shout out to people, please go ahead.
Okay, these are followers of mine on Instagram, Vegas to Notary Instagram, and they're strong. There's like 1,500 followers on there. I'm just really amazed and very blessed about these followers. But on Saturday, I did a notary quiz that I posted up there, and it was basically, where do you put the stamp? Does this document need to be stamped? It was a real estate document. And they looked at it, and we got some people who were able to tell me basically that, yes, you need to stamp this document.
Yeah.
And I just want to mention them real quick.
Sanford.
Yeah.
Just turn your video on Instagram so they can see you as you give them the shout out.
Okay, here we go. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
All right. Give us a second, guys.
Okay, all right. All right, so I'm going to give us, go ahead.
Just lower the volume on your Instagram to avoid your echo.
Okay, is that good?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the following people, thank you for responding, and you did a very good job. The first one is, her name is Griselle. Okay, she's from Florida, and she uses She Boss Mobile. That's her IG name, She Boss Mobile. And I asked them, can I have your name? Because you're going to be broadcasted. So they gave me permission.
She's amazing.
Thank you. Yes, she is. She's very attuned and very active. And I'm always like telling her, man, you're so active. I think you're all over the state of Florida, So she's really very good at being a notary. And I like to get tips from her as well. So thank you for participating. The next one is, her name is Zalika with a Z. She's from South Carolina. She works there. And her IG is ZMAP, Z_map, MAPP. Thank you for taking that quiz. And you understood about notarial wording. And that was a clue to wanting to stamp the document. Also, a newcomer, her name is Candace. She's from works here in Nevada, or is in Nevada. She's brand new. So I'm going to work with her in walking the steps. I'm looking at her IG. It's me_Candace. So she also was able to answer correctly. And thank you very much again to all my followers, and especially those who entered. There will be quizzes, and I have done those in the past. I like to do that.
It's the teacher in them. It's the teacher in them. There will be quizzes, so be ready for the quizzes. Because he said, Be ready for the quizzes, guys, because he's going to
Absolutely.
bring it to you guys. But nah, that is no, that's what it's all about. It's all about teaching one another. It's all about networking. Like
Yes,
you
yes,
in Vegas, she's in Florida, and the other one you mentioned is in South Carolina.
yes.
And somehow, because we are within the same industry, we're on the same path as far as a business on how we are constantly looking to improve ourselves. And they came across your page and vice versa, and you
Mhm.
guys has been able to network. And that's what it's all about. Because a lot of people here they feel like they can't network with each other unless they are making money off one another. Look, if you
Yeah.
have a great product, of course you need to get paid for it. But just the common um, just being human, just being able to talk to someone else. Because if all you want is competition and you start treating everybody around you as competition, there's
Mhm.
gonna be one thing that you don't know, and you're going to have to rely on someone else. Now, because you've been mistreating them, when you do need their help, they're not going to be there for you.
Right. Yes.
And I think it's
Definitely.
it's it's the wrong mindset. Of course, it's as a business owner, you want to see your business strive, you want to reach success. I completely understand that. But let's not forget that it's take a network. And they used to say it took a village, right?
Mhm.
But in this industry, you have to network with one another because every
Network.
state is different, every law is different, and you
Mhm.
never know where you might need a document notarized in a different state. Now, if you have someone that you can reach out to them and they can take care of it for you. So stop trying to compete with one another all the time. Like, do what's right, follow your business model, but also just know that you need to be able to have a conversation with another human being. Just like when you go to your appointments. That's what I have to say about that. I don't know how you feel about people
Yeah.
not
I,
wanting to work together.
yeah, we need to work together. We really do. We need to get a lot of ideas from each other. I needed that. And when I first started as a notary, I was going to YouTube a lot. YouTube was helping me out. The different people I was encountered helped me out. Okay. I had my starting with Notary Stars. I took that course. And you need mentors. Like I was telling you earlier, the mentors are going to be the ones to help you through it all. Some of the mentors are going to be spot on, okay? But you want someone to walk you through the business of being a notary and doing it correctly, to do it right. Because
Absolutely.
sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I do this paperwork? And if it wasn't for YouTube, if it wasn't for the business, if it wasn't for people that I could send a message to, I would be in a lot of trouble. And you can even go to the NNA website and they'll and they can and even call them. And if it has to do with notary procedures, they'll give you an answer right there.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And
You
and
know.
it's like it's amazing as far as like the power of networking.
Mhm.
And I just want to give you guys a quick example of that, right? I want to say last year, LaShawn from the Notary Institution and Samantha Smith, which she listened down in Georgia, they invited me on a Father's Day special, which they had a live on. From that special, I ended up meeting Griff. Everybody know Griff.
I
Griff is
know Griff.
amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I
so
know.
yeah, so from Griff, I met Griff on that special, and then we've
Uh,
been in connection since. Now, you know, Griff is someone that I look up to, and we always share ideas on how we can improve ourselves. And then from Griff, everybody, I know you guys been following
right.
Q the Notary. Q the Notary is doing absolutely amazing stuff with Captivated. So I went from Griff to Q, and the power of networking. Now, if I didn't have the opportunity to be on that Father Day special, I would not have had the chance to build a relationship with Griffin. Now, I would probably had never come across Griffin, and that's why it's been about networking. Now, when you're networking with the right people, you surround yourself with the right people,
Right.
your business will flourish. Yourself as an
Yes.
individual will become better, and that's what it's all about.
Yes, yes, definitely. And also, you gotta know how to work the internet. You gotta use how you use keywords in your ads. People are calling me 20 miles away. When you do a notary near me, you should be getting the notary right next door. Why?
Yeah,
Why is it that they're calling me 20 miles away? It's your review. It's what people are saying about you, or it's your keywords, and you develop a good SEO on your website and
absolutely.
on everything you're doing.
Yeah. What are, if you want to give some quick tip, what are some tools you are using to market your business right now? Maybe if you want to just give a couple to people that's, they're just getting into the notary industry and they don't know how to properly market themselves within their local community.
Right. Well, you need the main thing you need. The first thing I needed was you need a website. You could go and use GoDaddy. I use GoDaddy website.
Mhm.
It's very smooth and easy to user friendly. Um, and you just need a one-page website. I have a one-page website with a few links, and that's it. I understand, it's that you're trying to keep it simple and you're watching your budget and everything, but you really need to promote yourself and you need to look like you're a professional out there, because that's what they're going to do. Also, Google, it used to be called Google My Business. It's not that way anymore. Google My Business is ending. It's now becoming Google Maps, only Google Maps. So
Yeah,
you're going to have to go ahead.
yeah, you're absolutely right. And for those of you who's watching, I will be having a breakdown of, going from Google My Business to Google Maps. So that's something I'm working on, and it's a game changer. And I just wanted to just throw it out there. So you are absolutely right. Says Sanford, they're definitely making the change over, and you have to be willing to, be willing to learn the new changes.
Yes, definitely. You take advantage of that, because you think about it, people are looking for you not on the laptop, they're looking for you on their cell phone. So they're going to be referring to right away. They're going to be opening up that Google Maps right away, or their Google search engine, and it's going to send you to a map. Okay. And so you got to, and then throw in some pictures, pictures. I do that all the time. I put pictures in there once a week. And do you know, every time you put pictures in there, I get like search engine results from Google that tell me you have 5,000, 6,000 hits in a month. I'm like saying, wow, but it
Exactly.
works. And they're calling me. They're calling. Answer the phone, people. You better answer your phone.
Yeah,
Okay?
definitely.
Answer your phone. Because
Yep.
it's people, strangers are calling you and they want a quote. A lot of them are shopping, but you know what? When you hit the right ones, they want you, and you're the company. And you tell them what your product is. So I like Google. It's been a great tool, but you have to know how to use it, and you have to be, it'll be your best friend for making business. Referrals, and you need a business card. Get yourself a business card. So all you have to do is just like do this. How you doing? My name is Sanford Jones. How you doing? There you go. Here's my business card. You give it to them when you do your notary. You introduce to them. You give them your card.
Yep.
And I got a little modern. I'm doing the QR code in the back, and it goes to my website. So that way that I can stay on top of, this is what they do. When you open up a real estate document, sometimes they're going to have you do a QR code where you're going to have to scan it on your phone in order for you to do some of this work. So, you have to do the cutting edge stuff.
Absolutely.
Stay on top of technology, because that's where it is for notaries. You have to be there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see. I'm just going to, it's me, Candice. Yes, congratulations again. It's congratulations to She Boss Mobile. You guys are doing well. I'm just going through the comments, and also, I just want to, because you are doing everything that is right. And just wanted you guys give you guys the numbers. That reel that we were talking about when he jumped up and then the visitors was behind him, 3,666 views. That's what he got. 3,666 views off that one video. That is amazing. That is amazing.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I felt the pain the next day. I'm telling you that.
I'm
I
pretty
felt the
sure you
pain.
did. I'm
But
pretty sure
sometimes
you
you
did.
want to do stunts and you got to do some stuff because that's what they're doing on Instagram. Okay, it's a lot of you gotta be creative out there because that's how you communicate to people out here. The
Mhm.
followers want entertainment, but they want to be educated through your entertainment, and that's the way they do it.
That's the key.
You
Entertainment,
know?
education. That's the key. So, I just want to ask you the next few questions. So now,
Okay.
given the fact that you've been in the industry, you are making stride, you are finding success. What are some of your goals that you have for yourself or for your business? Maybe short term or long term goal. Like, where do you see yourself growing as a business owner in the next maybe 2 to 3 years?
Yeah. Well, I want to expand on this whole. Um, Here's the thing. I think that real estate is a great tool to get into, but the market will slow down. Be ready for it. It's not always a piece of gold and you're going to ride on the wagon and make 10 grand a month. You can make 10 grand a month doing notary, general notary work, um, doing the power of attorney work. I do a lot of power of attorney in this town. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of elderly people who need power of attorney.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that need DMV. There's a lot of people. And so I want to be able to be the one, hey, Sanford's the one to go to. So I really am trying my best to make sure that people see me and know me so that my business continues and it doesn't have to be real estate. It can be other types of notary work that will be successful and keep me going. In this town, they just upped the amount of money that we're going to make in this town. We're making the same amount of money as California notaries are making. So I feel that finally, the notaries in Nevada are making something to make a living because everything is so high here. So I see myself as doing more general notary work. Be open to that because you'd be surprised. People are going to come to you for a living will.
Yep.
They're going to come to you for a prenuptial agreement. They're going to come to you for anything. And in Nevada, the notaries can marry people here.
Can't be.
Yeah.
That's another stream. That's
Marry
another stream
people.
of income.
This is another stream. I'm just learning that. But you can marry people here. All you need to do is get certified by the county here, and you're in. And then you can marry people. So there's a lot of things. You have to, notary is not just real estate only. It is completely so many ways that you could do. You just have to control it. And once you control it, they're going to know who you are in this town or in other towns that you're from. And you're going to be the go-to notary for anything.
Yeah.
That's the key. And that's my goal.
Yep. The repeated client is what we need. Remember
We
that.
want that.
The repeated client will always call you. Like, I have people that I've been notarizing documents for since I started in 2017, and they still call me, and we still meet at the same location every time. Every time. And here, and here's the funny thing: they don't even live in Massachusetts. They live in Rhode Island,
Oh,
next state
wow.
over. They
Next state
drive.
over, yeah.
They drive and meet me at the local market every time they need something notarized. I'm sure
Wow,
there are
that's
notaries in the area, but we'll build a relationship over the past
yeah,
5 years. Anything
yes,
they need notarized, they come to me because the only thing is I cannot travel to Rhode Island to notarize document because I am not
no,
commissioned in Rhode Island. But if
right,
you come across to Massachusetts, I'll be able to help you, and that's what they've been doing the past five
right,
years.
yes, yes.
and
So it's a
yeah,
right. It's a relationship of trust.
it
Trust
is.
relationship is what you're going to be known for, and they're going to come back to you, and you're going to be enjoying that kind of service that you have. There's a lot of notaries in Las Vegas. I mean, there's countless notaries. You see it on the streets, but but when they come to me, I'm like saying, "Man, I just beat them. I beat
Yeah,
all the competition." You know,
you're right.
and I'm very humble about it. I'm very humble about it. Um, and I'm just wanting to make sure that everybody is treated with respect. When you treat people like respect, we had that, you talked about that a couple of days ago, about respecting others. If you treat with respect, they're going to come back to you. They'll come back. Don't treat them
Right.
like a number. Don't treat them like a dollar. I only, whenever I do things on Instagram, it's a show. It's just a show. But in my heart, I believe that you have to treat everyone with respect, and they will get you the business. The
Yep.
referrals are going to come in, and that's going to be very, very exciting for you. Just like, but do you ever do any notary in, is Boston and your town, are they all the
Uh,
same county?
no, we're in a different county. Boston is about maybe a good 30 minutes or 40 minutes away from me. I have gone to Boston to do notary. I had did a I did a power of attorney and a will at a hospital in Boston because the client couldn't find a notary that was willing to go to the hospital to
Oh,
notarize those documents, and they was not able to find a witness. So what I did, I had my wife came with me. She acted as a witness, and I had another family member came with me, acted as a witness. Mind you, we drove about 45 minutes to an hour because of traffic. Got to the hospital, went upstairs, met with them, notarized a document for them, and they were extremely grateful because they were in a dire need where they needed those documents signed
right.
as soon
Yes.
as possible, and we make it happen because we do certain things that to set ourselves apart from other notaries,
There
like
you
going to the
go.
hospitals, going to the
Right.
nursing home, because a lot of notaries during the pandemic stopped doing that because
Right.
one way I noticed that because there was a time where we needed a notary during the pandemic. We couldn't find it. You know, we cannot notarize our own documents. And I went through a lot to find a notary that was willing to travel or I could travel to them. But they had
Yeah,
stopped working. So even doing this business, there's a lot of great opportunities. You have to find a way to set yourself apart. And one way I've done that in my area, I'll go to all medical facilities.
I
I
do too. I do
because
too.
I do not
Yep.
stop there. If you need
Yeah.
my services, I'm going to make sure we provide it. And if I need a witness, my wife, she's an amazing partner. She's very supportive. I've asked her, there was this one time she was a witness twice in one day. Because we want to set ourselves apart from other people and being able to provide the service when it's needed, and that is what's extremely important. Find what works for you. That's what I
Yes.
always tell people. Stop
Right.
trying to do what everybody else is doing. Find what works for you and your area and how you can market yourself and set yourself apart.
You have to. You have to be able to. I consider myself like maybe 10 minutes away from the nearest hospital. So we have people that they're just doing notary near me, and I'm showing up on the top of the search engine, and they're calling me
Hmm.
to go and notarize. And there has been a time where someone had my card who was a staff worker, and they said, "Can you come down and notarize for this family?" So there you go. There's the referrals right there.
That's
It's
it.
a tremendous thing. You're going to be it
Yeah,
if you're able to get in. So
absolutely.
I consider that
Absolutely.
a really
So,
good thing.
somebody just asked, how is the best way to approach hospitals? Let me see. I don't, to be honest with you. They reach
Yeah.
out. Here's how it works, right? Because on Google, I have a Google My Business, and once you Google notary in the area, I'm usually one of the top one who comes up. I get a call from a nurse or a family member at the hospital. Then I go there. After I'm done with my appointment with them, I always speak to the head nurse in charge of the unit. Or as I'm leaving, I'll talk to the receptionist and I'll leave my card. I'll give my card to the nurse and I'll give my card to the receptionist. The reason why I give my card to the nurse, most of the time they do not have a notary at the hospital. So if that unit knows of a notary that's willing to come and they've seen you come there and notarize document, guess what? When somebody else come, another patient, another family, they're looking to get notary, they already have your information.
Right.
This. I do the same thing when I go to hospitals or rehab facilities or nursing home. Just talk to someone, let them know, hey, you know what? I travel. As you can see, I'm here. So
Right.
here's my card if you guys ever need anybody to come. And one thing I noticed, right? If I do one appointment at a hospital or a nursing home, within that
Right.
same week, I get two more, at least two more.
Yes, they know. So all you have to do is you just have to be outward about who you are. You got to let people know you're a notary. If you
Yeah,
don't let people know you're a notary, you're not going to get business.
no,
It's just plain and simple. And have your business cards ready to go and talk to people. And
yeah,
believe it or not, being a notary it's the most biggest thing out there because people need documents signed everywhere, right?
yeah. And
And
it's not just real estate. It's not just real estate documents.
no, not at all, not at all. But you're going to have to decide what you want to work. I do both. I have real estate as well as general notary. I'm able to integrate it.
Yeah,
One day it was couple weeks ago. I made 500 in a day, but I explained how I did it.
yeah,
Okay, I did some general notary work and I did some real estate notary work. Okay, and that's how it works. So I didn't plan it, but you got to be able to schedule it, and then they come to you, and sometimes they come and if you're organized, you got to be really organized.
yes,
Organize your calendar or make your appointments, everything, because it will happen. And then you're going to be like 30 minutes in between work
yeah,
and you're doing another job.
absolutely.
It's,
Yeah, the opportunities out there. The
yeah.
opportunities are out there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You just have to be willing to prepare yourself and do what is required of yourself in order for you to get those opportunities when they come.
Yeah,
It's extremely important because we play a major role in this real estate transaction as a notary.
right.
And you need to
Absolutely.
understand how important your part is. You really just don't have a stamp. Like some people are like, I'm gonna just become a notary. Look, that stamp means something. Not everybody can get a stamp. That's what you guys need to understand. You gotta humble yourself, because you have to go through the background process. You have to get
Right.
references. So not everybody can become a notary. I know a lot of people want to downplay the notary industry. Oh, he's just a notary. But you
Mm,
play a major key role in a lot of these transactions, and you need to
yeah.
know your worth.
Yeah.
That's
And I'm like in Nevada, I couldn't believe it. But there's a lot of things that notaries are asked to do. I mean, we're asked to like notarize sports. Someone that wants to join Little League, soccer, and they're in school, they need us to
yep,
notarize a paperwork. I'm like saying, that's strange. I never had to do that growing up, but things are different now. They're
yeah,
asking notaries a lot more things than 30, 40 years ago. We're just
yep,
taking on so much responsibility, and that's a good thing. If you can manage your time very well, you will be able to stand on all of your, your legs in this industry and do very well.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right about that. So let's see, I just want to ask you a couple more questions because we just hit the hour mark, and I know most likely you have a bunch of appointments, and I'm not trying to keep you from your appointments.
Okay.
What advice would you give someone that's wanting somebody come up to you, right? They say, "Hey, I want to become a notary." What advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, you have to ask yourself, do you like to deal with a lot of people? Because you have to be a one that's a good communicator, and you have to be compassionate with people's problems and issues and whatever else. They're going to come to you with their problems, and sometimes you don't want to hear all that, but maybe that's the only one that you can, they can talk to you about because they can't talk to anyone else. So be able to know people, to understand people. That's what this is all about. And then also ask yourself, you got to be the guardian of the law. You have to be the guardian of the law. In Nevada, you are a notary officer. You are a notary officer. So you have to be able to make sure that you're guarding against fraud. There's a lot of people that are going to pull something over you, and you better watch for it. We're not going to take a cell phone for your ID card. This state will not allow it. So I get a lot of that happening where they try to do that, and unfortunately, electronic, electronic fraud is on the rise. So we don't do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And then other than that, just make sure that your background is clean. You have a clean background. You have no criminal record. And then the sky's the limit. Once you get that notary commission, the sky is the limit. You will be able to go everywhere that you want to be. And do I need to request to join in? Let me see.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. There you go.
Yeah, that's how you just hold on. All right, guys, he's back.
Okay, sorry about that, everybody. And some of you or my followers are saying to me like, "Oh, he doesn't smile." I smiling today.
Yeah,
Smiling today.
that was one thing. That was one thing I noticed. They said, "Hey, Francis Sanford be serious all the time. Good to see him smiling." That is, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, well, my advice to any new notaries out there, I'm just going to piggyback with what you said, is it's extremely important to know your state laws when you are joining this. Also, know the reason why you want to become a notary public. If you want to do it to sign your document, just don't even waste your time because you can't do that. If you want to do it to commit fraud, don't waste your time. It's not worth it. It's not worth going to jail for. And also is find a niche, find something that works for you. Find how you can fill a void in your area, how you can, stand out from other notaries, and focus on yourself, focus on growing your business. Because I always say, right, one thing I always say, it's not about perfection. It's about taking consistent action. You have to be willing to take consistent action on a daily basis in order for you to manifest any goals and dreams that you may have. It's not going to be easy, but you have to be willing to do it. So know your state laws, be different, find ways that you can market yourself, and just be a people person. Be caring, be appreciative when you get services. They don't owe you, they business.
Right.
Be appreciative when you get those services, and just go along, trust the process. My wife always say trust the process, and that's what I always have to say, trust the process, because you're going to have good months, you're going to have bad months,
and you're going to meet a lot of people. And I want to just lead on to something real quick. I had two of my last VIPs, which I didn't know they were VIPs, but they ended up being celebrities. So yeah, I met these different people at different times. And when I went up there to their room, Oh my God. Look at that, Rob. So, the one that came to mind was, you guys remember actor Terrence Howard?
Yes.
So he was the one that I notarized for, but the production company didn't tell me that. So, sometimes you may end up with a very, very important person, especially in Las Vegas. They're staying at these luxury hotels. You don't know who you're going to notarize. But if you end
Mhm.
up with somebody fabulous, you just have to keep your cool, but then you're notarizing someone that is really different from other people, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yep. You're absolutely right. And I'm just going to answer this question before we leave. Somebody asked, how much does a notary charge to notarize a will and power of attorney? That is completely up to, I want to say, I can't give you a fixed number, but my advice would be just find out what other notaries are charging in your area.
Yeah,
Find
your
out what,
state.
yeah,
Yeah.
what's acceptable in your area. Find out regard to your state laws what you can and cannot charge. If you're able to charge a
Right.
travel fee, but you know, one of the quickest ways to find out what they charge is just call around.
Yeah.
Call 10 different notaries. Be like, hey, how much for a will and power of attorney? Now that will give you an average. Then maybe that can help you price out your services and just take it from there. That would be probably one of the best thing. That's what I've done. That probably what I would kind of like recommend. Just call around to see what everybody else is charging, and then get an idea and where you can have your price point.
And also, too, think about this. You're getting paid per signature. Sometimes those signatures on power of attorneys can be over 20 signatures and initials.
Yep.
Depends on what it is. If it's a financial power of attorney or if it's a medical. But if it's a financial power of attorney, you're going to be signing and signing and signing and
Long
initialing
time. So it's a trust.
everywhere.
So it's a trust documents. Trust documents. It's a lot of
Oh, yeah,
signing and
definitely.
notarizing.
I
Absolutely.
I'm not going to tell you how much I charge, but the thing is that I remember I had to do a healthcare power of attorney and a financial power of attorney at the same time, and I had to do a fixed amount. I had to stop it at this point because I could just go sky's the limit on this one, but I didn't. What I did was I said, "There's too many signatures. Here's my fixed rate. That's it."
That's it. And that,
Yeah,
that would be, that works in some market and doesn't work in other market, but just having
right.
a fixed rate, because I've done that as well at times. When I do get those type of appointments on, okay, this is my flat rate, including me notarizing and me traveling. Like
Right.
that's it. Because
Hmm.
so sometimes, just like you say, you get these documents. Like man, he's like,
Right.
all right,
Yeah.
this is what it's gonna take, and then let's make it happen. If you want it, great. If you don't, it is what it is. All right. Let me see. I'm just gonna go through see if we have any more questions, and then after that, we should be all good. I really appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. I have people in Texas, Fort Lauderdale, and I have Mr.
Okay.
Frank. I believe Mr. Frank is in yep, in
Uh,
Alabama.
okay.
So, we really take the time, really appreciate you guys taking the time to joining us tonight.
Right.
It's been an honor, Mr. Sanford. Like, keep doing what you're doing, keep bringing that energy. Like, we appreciate it. I love watching your reels. And hopefully, if I'm ever in Vegas, because me and my wife went there a few years ago, if we ever out there, we'll definitely reach out. So
Come
keep
on
doing what
down.
you're
Come on down, and let's hang out for a bit. I'll show you the town. Because there's a lot of stuff out here in Vegas. You'll enjoy it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, thank you for joining. We're about to get off. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and stay focused, accomplish your goals. And it's not about perfection. I'm gonna keep saying that it's not about perfection. Just take consistent action, and you will get to your destiny. That's all I will say. Hope you guys have a great night and be safe.
Bye, everyone.
All right, give me 1 second.